Well, hello, and welcome to unit number 9 for the Interpretive Trails course. You're doing pretty good. Made it almost all the way through. Now, unit 9 for the Trails course really looks at the variety of interpretive media you can use for self-guided trails. And in planning for self-guided trails and thinking about the media, I really don't want to spend a lot of time on design, because that's a separate course, and design options and the interpretive planning process is covered in the textbook readings that I've assigned you. One of the things I think about as we're doing the interpretive trails is looking at some of the items, like if you're going to recommend a self-guided trail, you have to recommend the interpretive media for it. You have to recommend interpretive trailhead signs. So there are some readings on what's actually supposed to go into it, an interpretive trailhead sign. Things, the most important, like a map of the trail, that the interpretive trail is designed as a loop. People always want to know where they're going to end up when the trail walk is over. And one of the most important things for visitors on the trailhead map is walking time. No one really knows how long a half a mile or a mile is, but they know how long a half hour is. So most people who are planning their day by the hours, knowing that the trail is a 45-minute walk or an hour walk, that's key. And interpreting what the main theme of the trail is, and something about safety. So those are all examples in the Interpretive Trails book and in the other readings that shows you the basics of what's supposed to be on a trailhead sign. Now, other things that we look at in interpretive trail planning for our interpretive media is cost effectiveness and cost per contact. So how do you decide which interpretive media you want to use for the trail? Do you want interpretive panels? Do you want a leaflet marker system, where you have a numbered stop and a printed guide? Do you want to do cell phone interpretation? Do you want to use an iPad? So what interpretive media do you have? So your assignment for this unit is to tell me how you make a decision as to which media to use. One of the things we look at, we start out with the theme and the objectives the trail's supposed to accomplish. But even more importantly is the audience. Like, how many people are actually going to use this interpretive trail? If it's a small park and it's the same people over and over and over and over again, then interpretive panels probably won't work, because once they've seen it, they've seen it. So you may want to have changeable self-guided leaflet marker, using a brochure. That way you can have seasonal brochures, and we can do the mass customization concept with brochures. If you're a big park and it's different people every week, and you have thousands and thousands of people visiting the park, then the cost per contact for interpretive panels begins to go down. Interpretive panels have a fixed cost. The average cost of an interpretive panel, 2 foot by 3 foot, is between $3,000 and $4,000. So so the more people see it, the cost per contact goes down, especially with a lifespan of about 5 years. And of course, if you use cell phone interpretation, you have to have cell phone coverage. So do you have cell phone coverage? Or if it's going to be to call a number, and you press number 7 for stop number 7 and press number 8 for stop number 8, you have to have the answering machine that picks up on that. So instead of going to a website, you're going to an actual phone answering machine. All those things have a cost. The other thing that we look at for interpretive media selection for different trails are maintenance issues. What will the maintenance have to be for interpretive panels? What will the maintenance have to be for leaflet marker systems? And also vandal resistance. If you do have a vandalism problem, do you really want a $4,000 interpretive panel out there as opposed to a numbered stop? And then they pick up the leaflet at the visitor center, or they can download the trail guide from your website as a PDF. So those are all things I want you to consider. So this unit, I have you doing a good review of the basic interpretive media. But then I also want you, for your assignment, is to kind of give me a discussion as to your thought process, how you go through trying to figure out which is the best interpretive media for any particular self-guided trail. How do you make those decisions? to recommend to a client which media they use. And of course the budget, how much is it going to cost to put in initially and how much will it cost to maintain. So I can know kind of how you figure that stuff out. So that's what Unit 9 is about, looking at all the options for interpretive media for your self-guided trail, and then kind of giving me your thought process, your mental flow chart of how you come down to which media to recommend for a particular self-guided trail. So that's what this unit's about. In upcoming units, we'll be talking more about some interpretive panels, interpretive signage, and I'll be sending you some of our interpretive graphic standards for developing interpretive panels, for example, as well as for trail guides. So for now, just kind of let me know your thought process of how you figure out what interpretive media to recommend based on the model of interpretation and based on the criteria that I kind of set out on the Unit 9 worksheets. That's about it. If you have questions, email, and I'll look forward to seeing how your thought process goes through for interpretive planning for media for trails. Have a good one.